I grew up eating junk food. I mean, it was crap. I didn't know it was crap when I was eating it, but it was crap. Swanson's TV dinners, Oreos, M&Ms, Pringles, you name it, it was garbage. And what a lot of people eat today is still garbage. McDonald's, KFC, I mean, it's crap, and it's filled with crap. And the reason that we have a crap diet is because the food supply in this country is controlled by a couple of major corporations whose primary interest is not really in nutrition. Their primary interest is in selling stuff. The food is they have buildings full of scientists, and the scientists find out what sweetness, what texture, what saltiness, what crunchiness, and they kind of fine-tune the stuff to make sure you get addicted to it. And that's why there's an obesity crisis in this country and in the world. I saw in the news the other day that half of the children growing up today are going to be obese by the time they're 35. And it's not because they're weak-willed, it's because what they eat is garbage. And the reason that what they eat is garbage is because the food industry, these giant corporations that make the food that we eat, are primarily interested in just keeping us come back, so they engineer the stuff so you want to eat it, which is terrible. So anyway, I grew up in New York. I didn't know anything from food. I thought food comes from McDonald's or the supermarket like everybody else does. And then we bought a little house in England that has kind of a farm attached to it. And I started to grow my own food. And you know what? When you grow your own food, it's a very different experience. The tomatoes taste better and you have an appreciation for what you eat. Now, what does this have to do with video and television and news? It has to do a lot, in fact, because just like the food that we eat is engineered by giant corporations to keep us eating it even though it's not very healthy, the news and television that we watch all the time, and we watch 5 hours of it every day, is also engineered by giant corporations to keep us coming. It's addictive in the same way. And for the most part with news, it has as little nutrition as McDonald's or KFC, even though it tastes really good. If you look at an average evening newscast, it's got a fire, it's got a murder, it's got a robbery, it's got some kind of crap that went on in somebody's house that actually has nothing to do with 99.99% of the people who watch it, but they stare at it anyway because, like French fries or Pringles, you can't stop eating it once you eat it, even though it makes you fat. It doesn't make you fat like obese like food does. It makes you fat in the head because it has also no nutritional value. Now, the way that we got around bad food is what we would call sort of organic farming, return to the earth, and you can grow your own food and you can go to a store and you can order organic food, which is great. But you can't order organic content because all you got is the stuff that comes out of that screen, whether it's on your phone or on your television, on your laptop or on your tablet. It doesn't make any difference. It's the same industrial media complex that's making you fat in the head. But you can break away, and this is what I would call organic media, which is kind of a new concept, but I think it's a really interesting one. That is, like we go in England and we go plant our own food. You can plant and you can create your own media. You have the tools to do that. The fact is that if you live in a community, you can go out and you can take your phone and you don't have to watch the stuff that WCBS Channel 2 sends you every day and every evening. You can create your own stories and you can share them with the community. I just found a website which actually allows you to share with people in your zip code. I'm going to put that on VJ World tomorrow and explain exactly how this works. The point is that the technology is now here for us to create a different kind of media that is much closer to what we actually believe and what is real. I think I told you yesterday, I used to work at this thing called Harlem Live, where we went uptown and we gave kids video cameras. This is 15 years ago, and they told stories that they didn't see on the local news. What you see on the news becomes a reflection of how you see yourself and how you see your community. And this is not just for Harlem or East New York. We're going to try a very interesting experiment. This is for the whole world. For example, nobody in their right mind goes on a vacation to Bangladesh. And the reason is the only time you see Bangladesh on the news is if there's a flood, there's a famine, there's a disease, or there's a war. I'm sure that's not what Bangladesh is really like, but you say Bangladesh to somebody and they go, whoa, that's a bad place. Somalia, a really bad place to go. Eritrea, very dangerous. I've been to Eritrea. It's actually a very nice place. But the only time that CNN or ABC or BBC goes there is to cover a war or something like that. That's the Pringles of news. It's addictive and it's not nutritious and mostly it's crap. But what happens when that becomes the footprint of a country like that is nobody wants to go there. So their whole view, the world perception of them is based upon what television news decides to do. And what television news decides to do is what gets ratings. And what gets ratings is Pringles and McDonald's and KFC for your head. So this is a big mistake. So what I'm telling you here is that we have to enter a whole new world in which we organically take control of the media the way we are organically taking control of the food and grow your own. And that's kind of what we're trying to do at thevj.com, which is to teach you how to take control of your own media and your own life, and as a result, the perception that everybody else has about the world in which you live. So, carpe medium, seize the medium, take control, stop eating Pringles, throw away the KFC, eat some vegetables and fruit, get a video camera, get your smartphone, and go make content that you actually believe is organically right. And that's the message for today. Bye.